Welcome to another episode of Youth Lounge with SKNYPA. My name is Naomi Francis, and with me I have
Akwanje Robinson.
And we'll be your hosts for tonight. So May is a month filled with many activities, one of which is Mental Health Month, hence the green you see us wearing. It is also exam season, and in keeping our mental health right, we have to learn to strike a balance, which is our topic for tonight's show. Striking a balance is important when you have extracurricular activities and schoolwork work to do. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned for a short commercial.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored in part by the St. Kitts Electricity Company, SKELEC, powering the community.
We're giving you the power to create lasting memories, to accomplish your wildest dreams. The power to set a goal and achieve it. And we're doing so in the moments when you need us most. We think of you in all we do. Because we're not just an energy provider. We are tested, committed, efficient, and most of all, we are an electricity company that you can depend on. And we wouldn't have it any other way. SKELEC, powering your community with reliability and responsibility.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored by the Department of Youth Empowerment.
Whether you're a local gem or a national brand, ZIZ TV is the platform to elevate your presence, capture attention, drive sales, and make a lasting impression on thousands of potential customers. Don't miss out on this prime advertising space. Contact us now at 465-2621. That's 465-2621 and speak to our marketing experts. Catch the eyes, make the sales, advertise here on ZIZ TV.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Monique Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with SKNYPA, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health, featuring experts from St. Kitts-Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
Welcome back to Youth Lounge with SKNYPA. If you're just joining us, I'm Akwanje, and with me I have
Naomi.
And while on the topic of striking a balance, we will hear from a few SKNYPAians on the benefits of being a member of SKNYPA.
Hi everyone, my name is Hassani McDonald and I'm the current president of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association. Being a part of SKNYPA from since 2019 has been an extraordinary journey for me. It has allowed me to connect with young persons both locally and regionally to share the young persons' views and perspectives on issues affecting youth, again both nationally and regionally. Professionally, SKNYPA has assisted me by honing my public speaking skills and confidence. It has assisted me with drafting accurate, concise, and precise legal arguments for my career. Personally, SKNYPA has assisted me by developing my interpersonal skills. Being a part of SKNYPA means working with a team, and you have to deal and interact with different personalities, and that has allowed me to navigate that space. So overall, I'm very grateful to be a part of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association.
Hi, my name is Duana Bradley, and I'm the immediate past General Secretary of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association. Since joining SKNYPA in 2020, I have been able to perfect my writing and time management skills because I was responsible for the association's minutes weekly. Personally, I have come a long way with public speaking through my involvement in SKNYPA and having to host general meetings, annual general meetings, as well as Youth Lounge with SKNYPA. Hi, I am Malaika Howell, the Public Relations Officer of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association. Through my active involvement in the hosting and planning of Youth Lunch with SKNYPA, I've been able to hone my public speaking skills as well as network with other youth within the Federation as guests on our show. Professionally, I have been granted opportunities such as the 25 Motor Vancouver Teens through my recognition in youth activism as an active member of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association.
I'm Malachi Ferguson, the immediate past Vice President of SKNYPA. SKNYPA has helped me a lot throughout my journey, both personally and professionally. Personally, SKNYPA has helped me to network with young persons across St. Kitts and Nevis, the Caribbean, and the entire world actually. And for that, I'm definitely grateful. Professionally, SKNYPA has definitely helped me with my time management skills. Being able to balance school, work, and SKNYPA being a second job is not an easy task, but I'm definitely proud that I've been able to conquer it over the years and been able to be really good at time management. And for that, and so much more, I'm SKNYPA proud.
Thank you to all our fellow SKNYPerians who told us how they have benefited from being a part of such an organization. Right now we have with us our first guest of this evening, and we're going to allow her to introduce herself.
It's a pleasure to be here. I am Brianna Hutchinson on behalf of representing the Angelique Dance Company.
Thank you. So Ms. Hutchinson, how do you manage your academic workload alongside dance training, teaching and performing? Just tell us a bit about.
Thank you for that. When it comes to maintaining the balance, I would always plan ahead. Planning and prioritizing what needs to be done, especially teaching children of the different age ranges. So it's often a task, but with proper planning and proper time management, that also helps a lot.
Definitely. And I think procrastinating, how do you deal with procrastination if you do? Understanding that what I don't do in the moment will always come back to haunt me. And honestly, with dealing with procrastination, it takes time. It's no right or wrong way to deal with procrastination. I think having a structure helps, a morning routine, following that helps to, map out exactly what you need to tackle on a day-to-day basis, so you don't have anything lagging behind.
Interesting. So Brianna, how does your involvement in dance contribute to your overall well-being and academic performance?
Dance is very close to my heart. For me, dance is like a safe space where I get to, unwind, and it helps me to get a clearer understanding of what I need to do, because in dance I don't have to be as structured, so that leeway helps me to be a bit settled, and that way dancing helps with my mental health. And trust me, with dealing with all those children, I need a break.
Yeah, I could imagine. So what sacrifices do you feel that you have had to make for dance? Because you said it's close to your heart, and usually when things are close to our heart, we put our all into it. So are there any sacrifices that you have had to make?
Getting up early in the morning to run through routines. Sacrifices? Not necessarily. I won't call it a sacrifice, because everything is done for the greater good. So it's not necessarily a sacrifice.
So Brianna, since we're on the topic of striking the balance and you're part of the Angelique Dance Company, is there anything big happening right now that demands you to strike the balance? Can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, thank you for that question. Right now, the Angelic Dance Company is pioneering a movement to strike the balance between children living with disabilities and integrating that into the society. Because we feel like there's a demand for the education and sensitizing the general public about, children living with disabilities. I feel like it's not a topic that is spoke about enough, although there has been efforts by the Ministry of Youth and Aging Disabilities. They have been making, different contributions, and we are seeking to add to those efforts, where we recognize that the children, they would, probably benefit from a safe space, and we are providing that for them, where they can learn cultural dances and interact with children, because we are piloting the movement with a rural school, and that way they are from different worlds or different school environments, so that way we can foster integration and strike a balance, so that they can have a holistic engagement during this project. And honestly, even when you look at holistic development, that's a balance in itself, because you can't be too rigid and without being able to relate to persons with disabilities or differences on a whole. So I feel like this project will be a gift for them, so that they can have it to look back on even years after, and be like, okay, because I was a part of this movement.
So what's the name of the movement?
Rhythm.
Oh.
So yes, when they look back on Rhythm, they feel like, I can now deal with someone in a workspace who maybe have a physical disability, and they know how to cater to someone who's in a wheelchair, for example.
That's awesome to hear, because typically disabled people tend to be left out of a lot of things, and they are people too, so they also need those avenues to release, to have self-care, that kind of thing. So when is the project being launched, or has it started?
The project will officially launch in September, but we are doing some background work, capacity building training, and because we have to educate our members within the organization to deal with the different disabilities. Do you know of any disabilities that are here in our society?
Blind?
Yes, that's one. You have autism, Down syndrome, muscular dystrophy, and stuff like that. So we are, myself, because I received training during my studies, so I am sharing my knowledge. So that's what we are doing: capacity building and ensuring that the space that we create is safe and disability friendly.
That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear about this initiative. So is there any advice you would give to students, to dancers, or to anyone who is struggling to maintain the balance between academic and dance responsibilities?
As I said before, proper planning. Map it out. Have your list of your priorities. Ask God what you should do first.
Amen. Amen on that. Amen on that.
Yes, and stick to the plan. And if you complete 5 things out of 8, give yourself a pat on the back, because we're not perfect, we're humans at the end of the day, and you always need time to wind down. So when it comes to dancing, if that's your wind down time, then you do more of that, or you strike the balance between the academics, because that's the priority. Then you take some time for self-care, then you dance.
That's some good advice. So outside of dance, is there anything you do to release stress as a stress reliever?
Outside of dance, I love the beach.
Okay.
So, and I love nature, so I go on different excursions, especially during these long weekends. You know, I just take some time out to take a breather, not travel to different places that I've never been, whether here on island or, you know, elsewhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Brianna, for telling us about how you balance dance and work and other academic activities. And it's awesome to hear about the project that you are launching. I wish you all the best with the project. And I really hope that it is a successful project, that we could see the results of it when it's done.
Thank you. And I also want to thank our partners, the Advancement for Children Foundation, the Ministry of Education, I work for the Ministry of Youth and Aging Disability, SKN, disability, for persons with disability. Yes, thank you so much for being on board and willing to, embark on this journey with us. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you for having us here.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored in part by the St. Kitts Electricity Company, SKELEC, powering the community.
SKELEC's Interactive Voice Response System, a new 24-hour automated call-in service. Access it now at 465-2000 to report faults, receive bill balances, and for the first time ever, you can now make bill payments over the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Access it now by calling 465-2000.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. The world as we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing,
but hope is remaining.
And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we start. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para guardar la humanidad. And I must leave no one behind because we are.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with SKNYPA, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health, featuring experts from St. Kitts-Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
We're back with Youth Lounge with SKNYPA. If you're just joining us, our topic for tonight is striking the balance. And tonight we have our guest, and I'll just allow her to tell us who she is.
Good night. My name is Nyla Richards. I am 16 years old, and I am the president and founder of Pura Vida SKN.
All right. So, Nyla, could you tell us a little bit more about Pura Vida?
Okay, so Pura Vida is a non-profit youth organization with a mission to empower and support youths, give them opportunities, make them realize their full potential through various ways, like many different ways.
Can you tell us some of those ways?
Sure. So we have workshops. We let our youths engage in community service. Mm-hmm. We just give them opportunities like stuff you wouldn't probably not learn in school. Mm-hmm. Those type of opportunities we give them. For example, we recently had a financial literacy workshop that gave youths an opportunity to learn many different things, like how to budget, how to save, how to spend, and how to make money, such as, you know, investing in stocks. I learned about that, and I went to check it out for myself, so I definitely learned something.
Nice.
That's great. So what was the motivation, or what led you to found Pura Vida?
Okay, so I was actually inspired by the fact that I felt like there were much opportunities in St. Kitts-Nevis for our young people. So I started it with an intention to open a gateway for youths to, you know, get more opportunities, but it was actually more of a promise to do something for young people, because it was, I was rewarded with Remarkable Teens Award in 2021, and it was a promise. So after brainstorming for years, I came up with Pura Vida.
Nice. So Naila, I would assume that you're a student. Can you tell us your opinion? Do you think that it's important to have a balance between academics and extracurricular activities?
Definitely. Let me not say it like that, but stress is very common amongst young people, especially from school. Trust and believe. So for me to, you know, keep a balance between my extracurricular activities and Pura Vida, and education, sorry, my bad. To keep a balance between both of them definitely takes a lot of time management skills you have to develop. You always have to stay organized, for sure. I feel like staying organized is definitely the key to everything. Once you're organized, everything is planned out. And I just feel like organization is just the key to everything, the key to success.
Definitely. So has working on the projects of Pura Vida helped you to create a balance between school and working for your foundation?
Definitely, because as I said before, I am the president, so it's a lot of work on me. And I still have school. I'm actually writing Cape right now.
Oh wow.
So it's a lot to balance. But I think, as I said, proper planning, definitely you get where you want to be with proper planning. So.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to backtrack a little bit. What does Pura Vida mean?
Okay, so Pura Vida is a Spanish word that translates in English to pure life. And our slogan is for the youths, by the youths. It's all about the youths.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
Okay, so interesting, Naila. Can you tell us any challenges you face while trying to implement initiatives for Pura Vida?
Definitely. I would say it's not much support from the actual youths themselves. So that's definitely a problem. But when it comes to coming up with ideas of like what workshops should I have, what events should I have, it's not really a problem, because I do have a team. I have a team of executives, so that's the only problem. The support system is not exactly that strong.
So have you brainstormed or thought of ways as to how that could be resolved? And also, has that lack of support ever impacted your academics or your balance between academics and?
Definitely. Sometimes I will feel like discouraged. It's normal, we're human.
Yeah, so it's normal.
Sometimes I do feel discouraged. Sometimes I feel like I don't have, you know, people that are rooting for me, but I do. I need to remember that I do. I really do. But it's just, how can I get more support from the youth, seeing that that's our target audience.
Right.
So definitely, my team and I, we definitely try to think of ways to get more youths involved, more youths in the organization. So yeah, I think it's just all, as I said, proper planning.
Wonderful. So Naila, you seem to be very involved in extracurricular activities. How have these activities changed you as a person?
Okay, so Pura Vida specifically definitely taught me discipline. Like, I feel like I wasn't really disciplined as I am now. I really used to procrastinate like a lot. And I think procrastination is normal in everybody.
Yeah,
definitely.
Everybody.
So, as the president, I had to pull my socks up myself, and I had to say, Yeah, I have to stop procrastinating so much because I have to do certain things at a certain date. I have to get it done at a certain time if I really want this to work out. So definitely, I will start discipline.
That's something good as young people that we have to learn, because discipline takes you everywhere.
Discipline is a lot, yes.
Yeah, it takes you everywhere you need. So how do young people join Pura Vida, or how do you get involved with the group?
Okay, so we usually have monthly workshops or events that we advertise and you can come to them, or we have a link that you can join on our Instagram page. So you can join using the link, or you can come to any of the events, and that's how you can get involved. Or if you want to be an action member, there's a form.
Okay, that's good. So you said you were doing CAPE. Is at any point do you plan to take a pause on working for Pura Vida and focusing fully on school, or you feel you have enough of a balance to continue doing both at the same time?
Okay, let me be honest. I definitely wanted to take a break from Pura Vida, but I won't, because I have things to do for Pura Vida and I really want it to work out, so I will not take a break. But I will slow down a little bit so I could focus on CAPE this month specifically.
Okay.
So that's just it for Pura Vida and CAPE.
Okay. So do you have any coping mechanisms for, because like you started by saying stress is something that's common among a lot of young people, and I think sometimes extracurricular activities help, but sometimes they can also add on some stress, especially when it's like a passion project like how you express Pura Vida to be. So are there any tips that you have for young people who are balancing between extracurricular activities and school?
So I get overwhelmed a lot. I get overwhelmed easily, and when I feel myself getting overwhelmed, I take a step back, I breathe, and I plan, how am I going to fix this situation? It's definitely a lot going on, trying to balance education, your academics, and still extracurricular activities. Some people do take breaks during exam time, so that can help. Or if anything, maybe seek help from a mentor, family, anything like that. But the way I do it, I step back, I take a breather, and I definitely plan how am I going to fix this going forward.
Okay.
Sounds good. So Nyla, you mentioned that you have things to do regarding Pura Vida. Can you tell us some of those things?
Sure. So we definitely have an event coming up next month. I can't really say much.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, sounds exciting.
And we have a lot of other workshops, and giving back. We want to give back to the community as well during like maybe September and December for back to school, for Christmas. We want to give back stuff to the community. So those are stuff that we have in mind, and those are stuff that we definitely have to plan.
Okay. So do you have any advice for any young person who may, like you, have had a passion to start a group but are balancing a lot, and do you have any tips for them as to how to go about launching their passion projects between work and balancing all of that?
Definitely. As I said like 100 times tonight, proper planning and organization is the key to success. Once you have a balanced schedule between extracurricular activities and academics, I feel like everything should run smoothly, honestly. So maybe create timetables, maybe set goals. Just as long as you have the vision, you set it out and you follow that vision.
Can't forget a team.
Definitely can't forget my team specifically. My team, my executives, I really appreciate them because they definitely help a lot with Pura Vida.
So Nyla, your goals sound very exciting for Pura Vida. So how do you expect Pura Vida to impact St. Kitts-Nevis?
Okay, so I definitely, as I said before, it's not much in the way of opportunities for youth. So if I collaborate with, small businesses and, other people, I feel like Pura Vida can definitely make an impact in the way of, more youths who like set it into small business. You give them an opportunity when it comes to sports, when it comes to academics. Just give them a gateway to a lot of stuff that they might not have. And in the way of impacting St. Kitts-Nevis, definitely feel like not too much youths really involved in decision making. So I definitely would love if that could happen.
Awesome. Well, we thank Naila for joining us this evening. It was very exciting to hear about Pura Vida. I've been hearing the name all over, so it was really nice to finally hear what it's about and what you all do and how you also balance between Pura Vida and school. We wish you all the best with your exams.
Thank you so much.
And we wish you all the best with Pura Vida. Definitely follow her on Instagram. Stay in tune with what's going on with her. We thank you for accepting our invitation to come on tonight.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
You're
It was
most
a
welcome.
pleasure. You're very
It was
inspiring.
a pleasure. Definitely. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with a short commercial break.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored in part by the St. Kitts Electricity Company, SKNYPA, powering the community.
We know there are moments when life just doesn't go as planned, and our days pretty much takes us where it wants to. But for every missed occasion, there's a great opportunity. We are making it easier to make bill payments, report faults, and receive bill balances through our automated call-in service available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Simply call 465-2000 and say or press 2 to access our automated customer service system. Say or press 2 to make a payment via credit card. Enter your 8-digit SKNYPA account number as seen on your bill. Enter the amount you wish to pay without a decimal point. For example, enter 2000 for a $20 payment. Have your credit card on hand to enter your credit card number, expiration date, and security number. One phone call gives you the power to regain control of your day. SKNYPA's interactive voice response system. SKNYPA, powering responses.
Just in the city. Just in the city. Just in the city. Just in the city.
It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. As we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing.
But hope is remaining.
And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we start. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para guardar la humanidad. And I must leave no one behind because we are one climate, one Caribbean. One climate, one Caribbean.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored by the Department of Youth Empowerment.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with SKNYPA, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health. featuring experts from Kitts-Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
Welcome back to Youth Lounge with SKNYPA. If you've been with us from the beginning, thank you for staying tuned. And if you're just joining us, our topic tonight is striking the balance. So our two guests thus far have reiterated the fact that being organized and scheduling is very important in balancing between work, school, and extracurricular activities. We have with us our third guest for this evening, and we'll allow him to introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Malachi Ferguson, the president-elect for the St. Kitts-Nevis Student Association at Cave Hill in Barbados.
So, first of all, congratulations
Thank you.
Your win as the president-elect. So, tell us a little bit about your extracurriculars and how you balance between being a university student and your extracurricular activities.
Okay, so I'm also a member of this association, SKNYPA. So I have always been involved in extracurricular since I joined the association. So I feel like extracurricular is very important for me because I think I get bored easily. So extracurricular plays an important role as it relates to giving you something that you could be passionate about, implementing projects and so on. So it's definitely not easy, but when you notice that you could actually, multitask and do both, it's quite rewarding.
I agree.
So Malaka, you mentioned that you're the president of the St.
Kitts-Nevis Students Association.
Right. Can you tell us a little about that?
Okay, so at Cave Hill we have a number of countries, islands represented. So they have island and student associations. So because we're one of the smallest associations there on Barbados, but we definitely band together as a group. We try to do different initiatives like advocate for our members, have different forums, do grant scholarship, and in this in summer, in a few weeks, we'll definitely be having a bake sale to raise funds to see how best we could contribute and assist our members in Barbados.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially being away from home, you want people that
you're familiar with too. Yeah.
So considering you're a first year, I know it's a lot to adjust to university, coming from college and moving from home. But what encouraged you to take on the role as SKNSA's president?
Okay, so actually I said when I was in St. Kitts, I was in everything. I was in SKNYPA, everything. I was like, university would be my time to relax. But I don't know, I feel like I can't run from it. I really, as I said, it was getting a bit boring. I was like, oh what? I just here doing school, so underwhelming. So I said, let me take up, I said, I wasn't trying to run, I actually applied to be sending my application to contest the president of SKNSA like very, very late because it was very iffy. I know I was passionate about it because I'm passionate about service-oriented things and even more passionate about representing my country because I know we have so much to offer and I want to embody that within myself, the executive and the association there in Barbados.
So Malachi, can you tell us what role do you believe extracurricular activities play in a student's life?
I feel like we should I think persons see extracurricular as, oh, you don't get paid from it, you don't have to do it, so you don't, like, why am I doing it, right? But extracurricular is way more rewarding to me than a job because I've learned so much through the extracurricular that I've been a part of, the persons that I've met, the relationships that I've built because of these extracurricular, the time management skills that I've learned has helped me that's the experience, because we always ask about persons asking for experience, right? So I think this is where you get experience, extracurricular, like associations like SKNYPA, CARICOM, the dance groups and so on. That's how you build character. So I definitely think that is where, when businesses ask for experience, you could definitely have persons who have been involved in extracurricular activities ticking that box.
I agree. I would agree. So are there any personal experiences or anecdotes that you would want to share in relation to highlighting the importance of both balancing extracurricular activities with work, with school?
Yeah, I think it all boils down to priorities. I like to sometimes both of them are conflicted priorities, but I definitely, sometimes you have to know time and place. So balancing school is very, very important, because that's why I went to university for school, and I do intend to excel. So I have to ensure that, you know, my passion don't overthrow what my mission is. So, but I've been able to strike that balance. It's about finding the balance, managing your time, and your managing expectations and what's not. And I think a great team, as Nyla would have mentioned, is very crucial in that. On an executive, even just as a member of an association, a great team around you, because to balance that workload is very important.
I agree.
So, we all know president is a big role. Have you ever faced any challenges in such a capacity?
So the role is, because I'm recent, hopefully I'm back here. Y'all invite me again sometime next year and I could tell you more about it. But as a vice president, former vice president of SKNYPA, I know managing a team, especially like-minded individuals, you know, very, very strong-minded, intelligent persons. Sometimes you have clashing personalities, but I think once you understand the goal, why you joined the association, why you're part of the initiative, you'll be able to overcome those, because it's not really about you, it's really about the greater good of the association, and by extension greater good of St. Kitts-Nevis.
Agreed. So are there any initiatives, considering you said you're at the start of the term, are there any initiatives that you plan to implement that would assist in helping your members, yourself, your team, in balancing between work and activities?
So one of the things I want to do is to build a family there in Barbados for the St. Kitts-Nevis students, because I feel like it can be very lonely. Like when I started there, it was a very lonely journey for the couple months, because I'm not familiar with that space or the people around. So I just want to build a network of persons, and build capacity within the association too. So our members would be, you know, have different scholarships. So I'm trying, you know, if anybody is out there willing to assist with sponsoring us, because put it in the plug. We're trying to get sponsorship to have persons not only get financial assistance, because the university is not cheap, right? Especially not in Barbados. So, and definitely we want to have internships. So persons, we want to at least give a couple of internships, so persons could work and get that experience that these business owners be asking for, through those internship during our time at the university. So we're trying to launch that. I've been in contact with, you know, the ministry, certain officials, to see how best we could roll out that or collaborate on that initiative. So hopefully, you know, it's fruitful and our students can benefit, because I think it's quite important that, you know, because a lot of persons come home and don't have any jobs. You wait until you finish your 3 years to actually start to get that experience. And we at Skins are trying to overcome that hurdle, and, you know, internships during the summer, during your vacation.
Yeah, definitely. But that would require now more resources from your side to assist these students getting the internships to balance school. So are there any available resources right now that students could use to?
Well, what we're trying to do now, because we're still in the planning stage, our tenure really begins June 1st. So what we're trying to do really is to start making those collaborations now before we head back to Barbados. And now I'm trying to reach out to the Ministry of Youth soon to discuss our plans to see how best they can collaborate, and also by extension the Ministry of Education. We're trying to make those collaborations while we're currently on island during vacation. So when we do go out, you know, we have, you know, a whole portfolio of stuff that we can offer our students.
Okay, so Malachi, it was definitely a pleasure having you. you definitely gave us some food for thought when it comes to our topic, striking the balance. So we want to thank you for gracing us with your presence
Thank you for invitation.
Thanks for having me.
All the best with your semesters to come.
Thanks.
We'll be right back with after a commercial break. Stay tuned. We're almost there. Stay tuned.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored in part by the St. Kitts Electricity Company, SKELEC, powering the community.
We know what it feels like to have your head in the game, to be in charge, and reign supreme. And we also know what it feels like to have that taken away from you. But for every missed occasion, there's a great opportunity. Simply call 465-2000. Say or press 1 to report an outage. Enter your account number or telephone number to report the outage. Clearly explain the cause of your power outage. We can even call you back to let you know when the power is restored. One phone call gives you the power to regain control of your day. SKELEC's interactive voice response system. SKELEC, powering responses.
Yeah, man. Another day in the books. Well, hello there. Ooh, she pretty from head to toe, and are you ready to go? Wait there. Whew. Can't afford to slip up. Not even in my dreams.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored by the Department of Youth Empowerment.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with SKNYPA, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health. Featuring experts from St. Kitts-Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
And we're back with Youth Lounge with SKNYPA. Our final guests for this evening's topic, striking the balance, are
Hannah Marie Williams,
Dr. Neil.
So, both of you, can you tell us who you are?
Okay, so we're from the St. Kitts-Nevis Robotics Association, a non-profit organization that is geared towards ensuring that STEAM is promoted here in St. Kitts-Nevis.
All right. So what's your role within SKNRA?
So I was a member of the 2023 St. Kitts-Nevis robotics team, and I am also the assistant PR. Yeah.
Awesome. Are you also a student?
Yes, I am. I currently attend the Washington Archibald High School.
Oh wow. Okay. So, Mr. Neil and
yes.
Could you tell us a bit of how you manage your time between school and extracurriculars and work and your non-profit organization?
It's a lot. So I think it's a very important thing to talk about, because for us, we form the Robotics Association as a result of competing overseas, and now we make it into a formal organization, which adds more work. And then last month we launched the OECS Robotics Association.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Which means that now we are responsible for 8 EC currency states along with other states, right? So that's more. So how I manage all of that is to do a schedule. So I have to have a schedule, because if I don't have a schedule, I don't remember what to do. So I have a schedule, and that schedule now, I ensure that I have, for example, breaks, 5 minutes breaks. Now, you must appreciate that I'm also a full-time lecturer at CFBC, and I also am on several boards and groups, and so a schedule works best for me. That's something that I would have picked up from I was at university, right, having the schedule. So persons would see me in my dorm playing games, and they're like, he's going to fail, but I passed. So they wonder, what did he do? So I have a kind of a robust schedule to get all the assignments out of the way, to get my things that I want to do done. So that's how I manage all of that.
So Dr. Neil, as the president of the association,
founder and chairman,
as the founder and chairman
yes.
of the association, what benefits do students receive as members of the association, and how do they impact their academic success?
As a matter of fact, for members who are in the association, the fact that they're there, given that the world is moving in technology, just a reference letter from the organization that says that you were part of the organization push you above a lot of the students from the international front. And that is because it is not often times you see students coming from smaller island states coming from a robotics or engineering group, so that puts you actually ahead, so they benefit from that. But one of the core benefit that I like to look at is when I see young people participating, representing St. Kitts and Nevis on the international scene among 200 countries across the world. That warms my heart, given that we're coming from a small island state.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Yes, that is actually something that's really, really good. So that kind of setting gives them the ability to network with different groups, to meet different universities, to get to know even professors before they even go to the schools, because these competitions give them that level of exposure, and so that's one of the biggest benefits that they get apart from that. We are working on several other programs, such as scholarship fund. We're working on a scholarship fund, but I won't say much about it as yet, but that one is coming soon.
Okay, no problem. But networking is definitely important for young people, especially within the world of technology and robotics. So how we're going, it's important
it's
to
important.
have connections.
And if you notice, artificial intelligence is one of the biggest thought now.
Right.
And so, for us in St. Kitts and Nevis, looking at engineering and robotics and innovation, that says a lot for us. Right.
Especially as a small island.
As a small island state, yeah.
So Hannah, if you could tell us how you balance between school and the association, and also what benefits you have seen being a part of the organization.
Well, first and foremost, I would admit that, I've kind of been a bit dialed back on my SKNYPA activities because, like you were saying in the beginning, it is currently exam season and I do have my CSECs. So I think one of the first things I would say is that you definitely have to prioritize. So it's up to you to sit down and think of, what is most important to me. And then kind of work around that. So for me it was schoolwork, so I decided to push all my extracurriculars on the back burner. So I did have quite a few. I was a member of EBJ actually, and I had a lot of extra classes and stuff, and I just pushed those aside for a bit. But I think last year when I was most involved in my SKNYPA activities, which was when I was preparing for the competition, I think it was a bit challenging because we would be up in the lab for about 6 hours on a school day from 4 to 10.
Wow.
So it's straight from school. Don't worry, we ate. But I would definitely say in times like that, I think that finding, a balance was especially important in cases like that. So I would say that, you really have to, try and manage things well. So you have to say okay, I know that I'm going to be here until this and this time, so I need to work. When am I going to do my homework? When am I going to think? So it's whether you have to take your lunch hour and get it done and things. So I think that making sacrifices based on your workload is also something that could help you find the work-life balance. Obviously, you don't want to do too much, you don't want to sacrifice sleep.
Right.
I think that that's one of the things that students often do, which I don't necessarily agree with, is that they often say oh, I'll pull an all-nighter and do all that stuff. And while yes, you know, you do feel like you want to put in those hours, in the long run, when you're cutting back on sleep, it will affect your health, and it would, you know, necessarily.
We spoke about that in the last episode. The importance of sleeping while studying.
Sleep is important.
So Dr. Neil, I think we all can agree that balance is the key to success.
Yes.
Can you share with us any success stories or examples of how students have excelled academically while actively participating in the association's activities?
Oh yes, we have a whole lot. Well, let me start with one. So we do have Mr. Brandon Powell. He is the current executive director for the association, and also by extension he's serving as St. Kitts-Nevis first president for the OECS Robotics Association. The role is a role that will allow other countries to actually participate, and he would have been a student of mine from high school. And then when I got to CFBC to lecture as a professor, he happened to be in the class again. And you know, and then so you have that trend coming on. So he would have been one of those students who actually would have excelled. He currently launched his own business, which is something that is very, very important, called iFair. And so he's pushing that one. So we have countless examples that we can pull of students who were able to demonstrate that it can work. I think that it's important for young people to be a part of extracurricular activity because the experience is one, and I think Malika mentioned that experience is very, very crucial. But also, there's a lot of energy. You need to put it somewhere. So you need to get it somewhere. And while you get the energy there, you're learning different skill sets and as you go along.
Right. So I guess we can definitely look out for what SKNRA has coming. Congrats on the OECS launch, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
You're most welcome.
And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Youth Lounge with SKNYPA is sponsored in part by the St. Kitts Electricity Company, SKELEC, powering the community.
We're giving you the power to create lasting memories, to accomplish your wildest dreams, the power to set a goal and achieve it. And we're doing so in the moments when you need us most. We think of you in all we do, because we're not just an energy provider. We are tested, committed, efficient, and most of all, we are an electricity company that you can depend on. And we wouldn't have it any other way. SKELEC, powering your community with reliability and responsibility.
Healthwise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Monique Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Patrice Lawrence.
Whether you're a local gem or a national brand, ZIZ TV is the platform to elevate your presence, capture attention, drive sales, and make a lasting impression on thousands of potential customers. Don't miss out on this prime advertising space. Contact us now at 465-2621. That's 465-2621 and speak to our marketing experts. Catch the eyes, make the sales, advertise here on ZIZ TV.
Join us on ZIZ TV for Youth Lounge with SKNYPA, a talk show on vital topics such as tourism, entrepreneurship, education, religion, sex education, and mental health, featuring experts from St. Kitts-Nevis and the Caribbean region. Tune in live on the first and third Wednesday of every month at 8:30 p.m. on ZIZ TV.
Thanks for staying tuned till the end of our show today. We hope that you learned a lot. Our main points for striking the balance that we heard from all of our guests were to prioritize, to schedule, to ensure you are organized. So we hope that these tips would help in helping you to strike a balance, and that from the experiences shared here by our guests, that you yourself would get involved in different extracurricular activities. We have SKNRA, we have SKNYPA, we have Pura Vida. So get involved, even if it's within your school association, get involved. We hope you enjoy the long weekend, and we won't see you next week, but we'll see you the week after. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Youth Lounge with SKNYPA.
See you next time.